Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the Little Dynamite Knits podcast. My name is Sarah and I live outside of Philadelphia with my husband Brent and our 3 cats, Gustav, Gracie, and Gertie. It has been just over a month since I last recorded an episode. Last episode was October 24th, and that was my Rhinebeck weekend recap. I have notes today. I am now a person who makes show notes before I record, so we'll see if it makes a difference. Today is Wednesday, November 27th. It is just after 12 p.m. I just logged out of all my work accounts and I am off work until next Tuesday. So officially on Thanksgiving break, which is fantastic. I am wearing my basket weaver shawl, which is a Stephen West pattern. I knit mine in Slack DK, which is a base from Why Not Fibers. And I just have it gathered here with a shawl cuff just to give me a little bit of a little warmth on the arms. I'm not sure about where you are, but it's actually started to get a little bit cold here in southeastern Pennsylvania, which has been really nice. It's feeling more like the time of year that it actually is. So, all right. So a few life updates before we jump in to all the knitting content. It's been a busy month. It's been busier than most recent months. We've hung out with a few different friends. We went up to North Jersey for Brent's cousin's daughter's mitzvah, which was really nice to see his family and celebrate Rio's big day. November is also a month with some really great anniversary dates and then some not so great ones. November 15th is the anniversary of my husband and I, Brent, our first date. So how many years has it been now? 8 years. So 8 years ago on November 15th, Brent and I went on our first date, which just so happens to be the day after the anniversary of my sister's death. So my sister died on November 14th in 2015. So 9 years ago. It's been 9 years now without her, which is really, it's very believable, but it's also unbelievable. Each year that goes on, it's crazy. So November can be a rough month sometimes. This year with the election results, it's been an even rougher month than it usually is. So just a lot of self-care, a lot of doing what felt right. November 14th is also Gracie's Gotcha Day. Gracie is our middle cat, and on November 14th of 2020, we brought her home from an animal shelter that my aunt volunteers at in South Jersey. So she's brought a little bit of sweetness to an otherwise unpleasant date on the calendar. That was not intentional. It just kind of worked out that way, that she came home with us that day. We were already in Jersey visiting my mom and grandmom, and we had seen her the week before at the shelter and decided that was the day we wanted to bring her home. So she's a special cat. Love her. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So tomorrow, Brent and I will head down to Delaware for dinner with my family. And then at some point, we'll decorate for Christmas. Hopefully over the weekend. And then it'll be December. Wow. Hanukkah starts really late this year. So if you don't know, my husband is Jewish. I am not. So we do both Christmas and Hanukkah in our house. And usually what we'll do is we'll put all the Hanukkah presents under the tree. And then just open one a night during Hanukkah. This year, Hanukkah doesn't start until December 25th, like the evening of Christmas Day. So we decided to just buy Christmas presents this year, to not like keep count, and we're going to put those under the tree and have a proper Christmas morning together. And then we're going to do, instead of putting stocking stuffers in our stockings, we're just going to do little things for each night of Hanukkah. So it's going to be, gosh, if Hanukkah starts on the 25th, I think it goes into January. So that's yeah. All right, so I think that's it for life updates. So let's talk about knitting. This episode, I have 2 FOs, a half-finished object, and 2 whips, and a new cast on that I'm going to start probably tonight. So we'll start with FOs. I showed these last time. In progress. These are my mom's Christmas socks. So they are done, they are blocked. I just need to weave in the ends. This yarn is an old sock set from Woolberry Fiber Co. that I got from someone's D-stash, I think on Discord. So the colorway is Crested Butte, and it's this really fun, variegated with some green and some, I don't know what we would call this color. I'm really bad at giving colors names, but I saw this, someone was selling it, and I knew that it had to be socks for my mom. So I grabbed that. I knit my socks on anytime I'm using like light fingering weight yarn, or even an 80-20, which this is, I knit them on a US 1, 2.25 millimeter. Let me check my notes. Yes. I started these socks on October 17th. I finished them on November 3rd. The pattern is, and I'll put a picture here, the Pie Socks by Carly Perrins of Northwoods Knit Co. I've knit this pattern every time I've made my mom socks, so 3 times. In the pattern, you're actually supposed to keep, depending on, which, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure pattern. And for the adventure I chose, you are supposed to, like this broken rib, you're supposed to do all around the leg, not on the bottom of the foot, but then you're supposed to take it all the way around the leg once you do the heel. And I don't know what I was thinking. I just didn't do it. But it's fine. I mean, it's the back of her leg, so it's fine. This is a toe-up sock pattern with a heel, gusset, and flap. So, pie socks. And this is one Christmas knit that is done. It's not even December, and these are ready to be, they've already been blocked. So I just have to weave in the ends and wrap them for my mom. All right, finished object number 2. So the week of the election, the wonderful Jamie Lomax of Pacific Knit Co. released a free doodle, or like a colorwork chart, for a red, white, and blue design with the words "I voted" on it. I chose to make this. And I knit it the night before the election. So on November 4th, I cast this on and I bound off that same night. And as I was knitting it, I was full of hope and optimism, and the nervousness was just starting to like kind of creep in. And then Tuesday happened. So those who know me know where my politics lean. I most certainly did not vote for the person who won. And I have all sorts of feelings about what that means for many, many, many people that I love. I am extremely privileged. His second term will likely not affect me a ton, even though I am a woman. But it will affect many, many people that I dearly love, and also just, you know, humanity in general. So anyway, this is what I knit. So there's the eye voted. So it's a cup cozy. It was really fun to knit it. And I'll use it every year on election day moving forward. Thank you, Jamie, for the free pattern. Super easy to follow. I used two skeins of little fiber codes from the Cookware Club. Actually, I have it right here. Two colors just happen to be red and blue, but not like a smack you in the face red. So I skeined these up and just used a little bit of them to make this, because I'm still saving these for a blanket in the new year. And then I had a sample of, I think it's called knitting wool or knitting yarn from Pearl Soho. They sent it as a sample with a recent order I placed, and it was this white. So I used that. Everything was DK weight. They worked pretty well together. And I got this nice little cup cozy. So it will remind me of better times. I'm sure a lot of you watching this feel similar to how I do. And I just want to send you some love and express my solidarity. All right, so those are finished objects. I have a half finished object that I'm extremely excited about. So this is Brent's Hanukkah, well, I guess Christmas knit this year. And this pattern is old. It is from, let's see who remembers this, Knitty.com, from summer of 2005. So this is a free pattern. I'll put a picture here. It is called Cigar by Carrie Cad. And again, this was a free pattern that was published on Knitty.com many years ago. And basically it's a combination of like full gloves and fingerless gloves meant to be used while smoking a cigar. So I have one completely done. Ready? How cool is that? Like, come on. Maybe this will be the thumbnail. So I used leftover stash yarn from Treehouse Knits. This is two colorways from her Stranger Things collection. The dark blue is Dream a Little Dream, and the gray is Destined for Another Dimension. So Cashmere Elm DK base. I used this yarn for Brent's Hanukkah knit last year, which was a Botanic hat by Stephen West. So the Botanic hat, and I made it for Brent using these colors. So here's a picture of him wearing it. So now he's going to have these gloves to match. He knows about them. He's seen them. I had to have him try them on multiple times so that these fit him where he wanted them. Like the fingers are a little long on me. This part is a little big on me, but they fit him very well, or it fits his hand very well. Followed the pattern somewhat. Found another project page on Ravelry that I used to make some modifications because the pattern calls for worsted weight yarn and I used DK. So I did cast on more stitches. And I did knit longer and pick up more stitches in places where I thought I needed to. But I'm really happy with how these turned out, or how this turned out. So I'm going to cast on number 2, and I should have those ready to go by early December as well and have them wrapped and ready to go under the tree. I don't know who I am this year with having so much gift knitting done this early, but I am only knitting for 2 people, so that helps. And this project is in my super cute dinosaur wearing a doodle cow. I've got this at the booth that Maggie of Urinaceous Fibers was sharing with Jamie of Pacific Knit Co. and Emily of Fangirl Fibers. at the 2023 Fiber Festival that we do not mention. All right, so that brings us to whips. I have two that I've been really working on. And one is actually a new cast on since I last recorded. First, I'll just pull out my Big Cozy Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I am still chugging along on this. I believe. So here's my Progress Keeper. There it is. Progress Keeper from last time. That is, let's see if I can get it to focus. That is the sheep from Hello Lavender, from Flock Fiber Festival. I got that from her this summer. And just a reminder, I'm knitting the largest size of this. There are 335 stitches on these needles. And I have knit, I'm over halfway through. I think I have to do 30 inches total. I am definitely over halfway done. This yarn is Walcott Yarns Opus, and it is so squishy. I cannot wait to wear this. I thought I had a yarn tag handy. Yeah, I do. Okay. So Opus by Walcott Yarns, 70% Argentinian Merino, 30% Baby Alpaca, 100% Awesome. The colorway is Hickory. And I am knitting this with the needles that it calls for. Is that a 4? US 4? Let's see. Oh gosh, it's so hard to read. Yeah, US 4, 3.5 millimeter. So I'm just going to keep working on this when I feel like it, and it'll be done when it's done. My other whip was originally supposed to be a gift knit, but it's probably not going to be done for Christmas. So it'll just be still be a gift knit, but not like a holiday gift knit. And that is the Rough Edges Cardigan by Ann Hansen. Last time I recorded, I had just done the swatches and blocked them, but now I have cast on. This garment is knit in pieces and seamed. So I'm working on the back panel, and I have made a lot of progress. So this is bottom up. So you start with this textured hem, and then you knit, and then you do a little bind off and start the raglan decreases up to the top. Now, I am at gauge. I'm at gauge. But I think this is too long. I knit a little bit past where it said to before doing the bind off part and going on to the raglan decreases, because I held it up to Brent's back and we kind of decided where he wanted it to fall, and it looked like I needed to go a little bit more. Now I'm thinking maybe I didn't need to do that, because it is it's very long. It looks very long. I have to hold it up against his back again. I'm at the point where I think I have maybe like another 10 or 12 rows back and forth before I bind this off and this panel is done. So I'm going to hold it up in front or in back of him again and see where this falls. And if it's too long, I'm going to have to rip back to this yellow stitch marker, because that is where I finished the first section before binding these stitches off. So fingers crossed. It just looks longer than it is, but this is also superwash wool, and I know it's going to be seamed, so it'll hold its structure a little bit better, but it's also worsted weight yarn and it's a little heavy, so I think it's going to get longer. So I have a feeling I'm going to be ripping back. We'll see. This has been really fun to knit though. Worsted weight yarn. It's going very quickly. I'm knitting this on US 7, 4.5 millimeter. This is Barocco Ultra Wool, and it feels great. I think I have used 2 balls so far. I'm on my 3rd ball, and I have 10 of them. So, should be okay on yarn. But we'll see. I am enjoying it though, so that's great. Very good TV knitting. All right, so that brings us to the very next thing that I'm going to be casting on. So it's Thanksgiving week. So Andrea Mowry's annual like sock knit along that she does over the course of the long Thanksgiving weekend. I'm not doing it this year for a couple reasons. One, I have other things that I really want to prioritize right now that I'm working on. One of those being a sample knit that I'm about to cast on. That's my next cast on. 2, the pattern for the socks this year, it's the same stitch pattern as the Big Cozy Cardi, which I'm already doing, and I'm good with that for now. I don't need to add another project in that same exact stitch pattern. I think the socks look great though. Maybe I'll make them in the future. But not this year. However, I am going to use the timeline of that knit along to really push and see if I can get this sample knit done for Coley of Paisley Knits by the end of the weekend, and then get these in the mail to her. So she sent me 2 skeins from her, let's see, from her January 2024. She did a book club, mystery book club this past year. And these were the colorways from January. They've already been shared on her Instagram account. Oh my gosh, the yarn is so soft. Oh, so the book for January was called A Court of Mist and Fury. I've never read that. I think it's part of the, is that Akatar? Sarah Maas. I don't read a lot. And when I do, it's like nonfiction, memoirs and stuff. I'm not a big fiction girl. So again, the names of these colors aren't going to mean anything to me, but maybe they'll mean something to you if you've read A Court of Mist and Fury. So the tonal, this is on her Cove sock base. This color is called Hello Fairy Darling, F-E-Y-R-E. It's not Freya, because the R is after the Y. Hello Fairy Darling. This is horrible. Like, I know so many of you are screaming at me right now. The variegated is on her Surrey base. And the colorway is City of Starlight. So together. And these are going to be held together to make a DK sock pattern. It's the Broken Rope DK socks by Summer Lee. So I'm going to hold these together. And so I'm going to knit them in the spirit of the of Andrea Mowry's yearly sock knit along, but I'm just going to be doing a different pattern. So the goal is to have these finished by the end of the weekend, so I can get these in the mail to Coley next week. Thank you, Coley, again, for trusting me with your beautiful yarn to make you another sample knit. I really enjoy sample knitting for Coley, so it's a lot of fun. Okay, I think that means that's all the knitting I've done. So now we can talk about, I feel like I'm like going super fast today, but that's okay, because then the episode will be shorter. It's time to talk about acquisitions. If you're into that. And if you're not, that's cool too. After this portion though, I'm going to show my acquisitions, and then I'm going to talk about the Advent / countdown boxes I have for this year, my plans for knitting them. And I'm going to talk about Vlogmas, which is something I'm going to try this year. But we'll get to that. So acquisitions. First I got, let's see. I already had Patty Lyon's knitting bag of tricks. I have not gone into the book yet. I've not read any of it yet, but then she came out with the workbook. So I bought the workbook, and I think what I'm going to do is starting in January, it's really cool how it kind of lines up, because for each chapter, ow, just like stabbed myself with the corner of the book. For each chapter or section of the book, there is a coordinating lesson in the workbook where you kind of practice what you're reading about. You knit a total of 13 swatches, and you use those swatches for different lessons throughout the workbook. So I think what I'm going to do is, starting in January, maybe every other week or so, challenge myself, or maybe every month, I don't know, we'll see, challenge myself to read a chapter or section in the book and then work on the corresponding lesson in the workbook. You know, I've been knitting for over 20 years. I've been knitting since I was a sophomore in college, to varying degrees of intensity. The most intense being right now. Like, I am deep in my knitting era and loving every moment of it. So I've been knitting for a long time. I do consider myself maybe not super advanced, but like definitely like advanced intermediate, or even like somewhat advanced. Not having knit garments before, definitely, I think that's like my final like frontier. I feel like I'm going to feel like a much more accomplished knitter after I have these first two garments. Well, no, I made a garment. I made a little cardigan. All right, I have knit garments. Anyway, all that to say, you know, I think I'm just really excited to expand my knowledge, because I kind of am just set in my ways, and I do what I do because that's how I learned, and I've never done differently. But I think this will really challenge me to take my knitting to that next level. So I'm excited to work on that. And maybe that'll become a segment of the podcast in the new year, and I'll kind of share what I'm working on and what I've learned. If people are interested in that, I don't know, leave me a comment if you think that would be cool to follow along with. Yeah. My next purchase was something I wanted to buy at New York Sheep and Wool, but I think this particular bag sold out before I even got to the booth. But the booth was so crowded that I didn't even go into the booth to look, because I knew that they were going to do like an in-stock on their website. So this bag is from Madder Root, and it's a new design with the polka dots, which I love. This is the trundle bag, which I have another one of these and I love it. But this one, when you fold it over, the design inside is kitty cats with yarn. So, I mean, come on. Can't resist. It's got the same big pocket on the inside. So again, this is from Madder Root. Love their bags. It's got this like nice waxed canvas bottom. It stands up very well on its own. So now that I've shown it, I can put a project in here. Love this bag. All right. And then some yarn. There's a decent amount of yarn here. First up, I have my, this is my pre-order from Explorer Knits Farmers Market collection. Excuse the sound. I got 4 skeins of the colorway Catch of the Day on the Denali sock base. So there's the color. And this is an 80-20 Super Rush Merino nylon, 400 yards per 100 grams. Got 4 skeins, and my plan is to make some kind of t-shirt, a short sleeve top of some kind. So I really love this color. I'm trying to buy less variegated yarn and more solids and less single skeins. Another thing I got was from Hope Made Yarn Co. This actually is really cool. This is a, she calls it JoJo's Fave sock set. And the main skein is actually a 50-gram skein. So instead of 100 grams and then a 20-gram mini, it's a 50-gram and a 20-gram. And even with my big feet, I don't use a ton of a full 100-gram skein of yarn when I make socks. So I'm really excited to see how much I can get out of a 50-gram sock. I might have to knit them in tandem. I do all my socks toe up. So knit them in tandem and see how tall I can make them with the 50-gram skein. I don't like super tall socks, so hopefully it'll work out well. But this is the colorway Rhinebeck FOMO. And so she put these up for order, and I saw Justine of both the Skein Scoop podcast and Never Not Knitting Rhode Island. She has been working on, I think this is the color that Hope dyed for like their house up in Rhinebeck for the people that they stayed with for like their house gift. And then she released it. So Justine has been working on hers, and it's knitting up beautifully. So I grabbed that because, you know, you can never have too many sock sets. All right, I got my most recent color from Lauren of Little Fiber Co. from her cookware club. I think everyone should have this by now, but if you did not get the colorway Flame yet, look away. But there it is. Look at that color. Oh my gosh, that is a good orange. So again, I'm doing her year-long cookware club, all tonals, colors based on Le Creuset cookware. I chose the Merino DK base, and eventually these will all be turned into a blanket. I think there's 2 more colors. So November's will be coming soon, and then I don't know what December's is actually, but they've all been fantastic. So I'm sure the club will end just as well as all these other colors have been. All right, 2 more things. Unplanned purchases, but unique circumstances that I wanted to take advantage of. So Witchfire Fibers, who I love, and I have a lot of her yarn. She was doing, I think she called them stash enhancement packs, deep discount. This entire pack of 4 skeins was $60. So what is that? $15 a skein. And I have been collecting single tonal skeins of tweed fingering, which are all here on this shelf, that I'm going to use for a striped Douglas Cardi once I have enough skeins and all the colors. So I asked, oh my gosh, this is horrible. I know her name. I talked to her. Oh my gosh, where's my phone? My phone is recording. Hold on. What the heck? Why am I blanking? This is horrible. I think it's Jess. Why am I like doubting myself? All right, hold on. Yeah, it's Jess. Oh my gosh. All right, so Jess of Witchfire Fibers. I said I wanted all tweed, and I sent her a picture of these skeins kind of laid out. I said, I trust you more than I trust myself. If you can just pick 4 colors that you think would go well with the palette I've already been building. And then I just trusted from there. So I got, this is Peony Bud. Oh gosh, that's pretty. And then This is called Microburst. And then these next two say Misfit. So I think these were not actual colorways that she released, but they are, oh, they're good. So that one, and then I think this one's my favorite. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's good. This one will definitely go in the cardigan. Probably like, we'll see. I feel like I could make a project with just these 4 and it would be gorgeous. So thank you, Jess. You did me right. And then finally, and this is a little sad. I had not heard of this dyer before, but my friend Heather of Heathered Handmaids shared a post from Stellar Needlecraft, and they are closing their shop. So everything on their website right now is on sale. And she has a base called Stellar Sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 437 yards. So a thinner fingering than the 80/20 I typically use. So I got, and they were again, deep discount. The colorway is Abyss, and I got 2 skeins of it to make Brent some socks, to just make him some black socks. He, if he goes to work or is not wearing hand knit socks that I made for him at home, he just wears basic black socks. So I got this, and I'll just make him some 2 more pairs of black socks. So again, that is Stellar Needlecraft. I'm so sorry to just be sharing them now that they're closing their shop, now that I've just heard about them, but you should definitely go to the website, Stellar Needlecraft, check out what they still have left. And if you know me in real life, you know why the name of this company spoke to me so much. All right, that's it for acquisitions, she says, after showing way more yarn than she had any business buying this past month. Let's talk Advents. All right, so I knew after last year, I told myself no more 24-day mystery boxes. However, Woolens and Nosh Sock Advent will be happening every year. I had so much fun knitting my Advent socks last year. I'll put a picture of them here. The colors were fantastic. I got the DK weight Advent, finished the socks on schedule, wore them on Christmas Day, and they're one of my favorite pairs of socks to this day. I also used that as an excuse to learn how to do 2 at a time socks on the same circular needle. So it was the first time I ever did that. And I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like, I think, so I don't experience second sock syndrome. I don't have a problem knitting the second sock. I never have. I always have socks on my needles, regardless of what else I'm knitting. So knitting the second sock has never been an issue for me. However, for this type of project where they're striping and it's the same colors, because they split the, oh no, I saw the first color. I've been really good about not looking, but I just saw the first color. Oops. So they come with, so this is the color in between the colored stripes. And that's how you know when to stop knitting till the next day. And you also get a mini. So I'm going to show the mini. So if you have the Woolens and Nosh Advent and you don't want to see the mini, look away. But it's also the same color as the yarn that's sticking out of the bag. So it shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, here it is. You get a very generous 40-gram mini skein. So sometime between now and, when's December 1st? What's today? 27. Sunday? Yeah. Between now and Sunday, I'm going to start my toes so that on December 1st, I can jump right into the striping colors. So again, comes in this super cute bag. The skeins are already split for you. So you've got one coming out here and one there. And this is the High Twist DK base from Woolens and Nosh. 100% superwash merino, 3-ply. So I can't wait. I'll be sharing my progress on these socks each day of, well, let's talk about that now. So Vlogmas. All right. This is going to be rather ambitious of me, I think, but I want to give it a try this year. So last year, there were a few podcasters who I especially really loved their Vlogmas posts. One was Emily of the Botanical Knitter. Watching her daily episodes it was a joy last year. Also, Justine of Never Knitting RI. She did Vlogmas last year, and I really enjoyed hers. And she involves her family in hers too, which is super fun. And then Rachel of Rachel is Knitting did not do every day, but did like a few days in each video. I think I'm going to try to do every day, do short videos every day. And my goals for the video are going to be to show the progress on the Woolens and Nosh Advent socks, to open the skeins from the 2 other Advents I ordered, which I'll talk about in a minute, and maybe start knitting on one of those. I don't know. And then just like share cozy moments from December. I downloaded an app on my phone so I can edit the videos right on my phone, put together the clips, and just upload it right to YouTube. So it's going to be editing in the sense that I'm putting like a bunch of clips together, but I'm not going to be putting picture in picture and all of that because I'm going to be doing it right from my phone. So let's talk about those 2 other Advents I have. And I have to go get them. Hold on. Okay, so after saying I wasn't going to buy any full Advents with like 24 mini skeins, I ordered 2. I ordered 2 of them. The first one is from Knotty Pine Fiber Co. And this year she packaged it in this great tote bag. And then each mini skein is packaged up in these little envelopes. And on day 25, it's not just a full skein, it's a sock set. The reason I got this is, one, Kayla's colors are they are my colors. Here, this is the her Advent from 2022. I made a habitation throw out of, and I love this thing so much. I love these colors. They're moody, they're earthy, they're just everything I love. So for this year's Advent, instead of doing like a full 24 color fade, she's doing the colors in like stripes. So darker colors with lighter colors in between. And I just think that could lend itself really well to so many different patterns. So I just couldn't resist. So I'm really excited to start opening this up. And then depending on the first, I think I'll probably at least open like the first week of both of these Advents before I decide on a project for them. However, this other Advent, actually, you get a pattern code with it. So maybe we'll see what the pattern looks like. Maybe I'll just jump in and give it a try. So this other Advent is from Maggie of Yarnaceous Fibers, one of my OG favorite dyers. This is a tonal Advent. It's called Frosted Florals, and it's all tonals, no variegated, which for an Advent is like not common. So her packaging this year, everything came in this big box. And then the mini skeins are in these really cool little packets. So Frosted Florals and with the date. And then on day 25, you have your main skein. and other goodies. Now, I'm being really good, and I'm going to open the yarn 1 skein a day. However, for both of these advents, I already opened the goodies. I needed something. I needed some sort of immediate gratification. So I did already open the goodies. Really great stitch markers. I can't wait to show them, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to hold off a little bit and not share them until people have gotten into their advents. And for the Yarnaceous Fibers, I don't remember if I said I got the DK weight mini skeins. So I'm really excited to see what the pattern is that will be coming out for those. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, so Vlogmas. If that's your thing, I really hope that you'll follow along as I work on my woolens and Osh socks and open these other 2 advents and try to figure out what I want to make with them. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. Click that subscribe button. I think I'm sitting at like 96 subscribers right now. It would be super cool to hit 100 for no other reason than it's 100 and I like nice round numbers. So if you do enjoy this episode, if you want to see more, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. That also helps. It makes sure that you don't miss an episode, but it also, I think, tells YouTube to show it to other people. If you know anyone who you think would enjoy this podcast, please share it with them. Leave me a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have any fun December knitting plans. Let me know if you ordered any mystery countdown boxes and what you're planning to make with them. If you need some inspiration, Justine over at Never Not Knitting RI did a whole episode just talking about different patterns for advents. So that's a great place to start. A couple patterns that she shared, I have like on my short list for these advents. So we'll see. I think that's it. So I will be back on December 1st with my first episode of Vlogmas, little Dynamite knit style. It'll be in the evening, or it'll be the next morning. We'll see. If I can get it together to upload in the evenings, they'll go up on the actual day. If not, I'm going to give myself grace and maybe the goal will be to have the day before uploaded by the following morning. We'll see how it goes. But hopefully you'll join me along for the ride. So if you are in the States and if you're celebrating this week, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And then happy December come Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. I had fun spending some time with y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.